Burgess. How,
Yay!
how you doing? How you doing?
Well, I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
Oh, never better, never better. The spirit of optimism. It's a new year. It's all good. It's all good.
Exactly.
Well, looking back, has every moment via Zoom been a blissful delight of Hollywood nominating acting and five-star quality? I guess so, but you might prove me wrong, Helen.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some good bits. There's been Oscar-winning performances, but we've also, haven't we, seen awful moments and just sat through really boring Zoom stuff. I mean, just goes on and on sometimes.
It is bottom ache TV, isn't it?
You see it, don't you, from things like running really late. So, I get on early, I've checked my tech, and then we have to wait for 20 minutes while everyone else is going, no, the camera's not on. Is the camera on? Can you hear me? We go backwards and forwards. So. And then, you have people who think that they're in a room. So they'll just stand there for 20 minutes talking without a pause.
Yes, the monologue. Yes,
Yes.
pretty painful. And yes, this idea that everyone's on the same page as you in terms of understanding or timing or circumstances. What was the worst one we had? It was something like 1 a.m. in Hong Kong, and people just really didn't get it. You just thought, you're waffling on. That person's child has woken up, come in and said, "Mummy, is it going to be much longer?"
Yeah, it's really true. People forget. You're so right about that. They forget that it's 3 o'clock in the morning and everyone else is, oh, it's 10 and I've had my coffee and I've settled in and I've answered my emails and now, I'm ready to learn something. Whereas for the others, it's midnight. I'm just going to bed now.
There's a million emails or there's a fire raging in the accounts department, either physically or financially. Yeah, tough times for a lot of people. So, Helen, we've got you here as the world's expert in coaching things intercultural and virtual. I mean, you've done a good job, haven't you? You converted tons of physical bookings into virtual bookings.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's what we've all been doing this year, to be honest. When we weren't able to move anymore and our clients weren't able to have us, they didn't want us coming into their businesses, to be honest, because they were frightened of us infecting them infecting us. So the whole world moved virtually at that point. And we're lucky because we've been working virtually for years. So this was really easy for us. The hard bit was helping them get up to speed working virtually. I think we did a good job of that this year as a profession. Many people did a good job.
No, I like that. So yes, we were the keynote speaker. They were the passive audience. That's our job hasn't changed as much, but their job has changed. They're not the passive audience. They're the interactive classroom delegate now. That's an interesting point.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they have to learn. We have to help them learn how they can have an even better experience sometimes in a learning with us than they were having before. So it's about changing a bit the mindset of this is worse than it was, rather than actually, there's lots of fun things you can do with this that we couldn't do in person.
So any examples of how we can make the best in terms of really getting through to people or bringing people with us?
I mean, I think there's a few key things that we can do. I think the first one is you've got to design it for a virtual and not just take what you were doing in person and say, well, let's just do that as it is. I think you've got to think about the fact maybe you've got 2 hours. How do you make it as interactive as possible? And how do you make sure you deliver the learning objective at the end of it? So instead of thinking, okay, I know how to do this. I've been doing it for years on my feet in a room. How do we make it special?
And I suppose that was a transition, isn't it? From chalk and talk, jug and mug, we did flip the classroom. It was much more interactive. If I look back at the beginning of my time, it was a monologue. And then by the end of the physical training, it was massively interactive with galleries and discussions and games and all sorts of things. And that's what we really have to take to this. I mean, there are some challenges. How do you overcome some of the challenges to make it interactive? Have you got any tips or tricks or secrets that you wish to give away?
Oh, secrets. Okay. I mean, the first thing I think is you go in with the idea that it's going to be 80% interactive, where they are talking, doing, sharing, learning, and you have 20% in which you maybe teach something new, set up an activity, debrief an activity. So that's the key thing, is it all starts with them. And then things like starting off with a connecting activity at the beginning. So it's not an icebreaker. No one is sitting in ice. Sometimes you're working with teams that have known each other 3 years and you're going, oh, let's have an icebreaker. So it's almost like this. You are physically in different places. What can you do? So we're going to do something now, like a connecting activity in which we are all together in the same virtual space, learning together, for example. And I like these activities to have sort of 3 elements to it. One is everyone should speak within the first 10 minutes. Okay. Everyone should be physically moving around. Okay. And you should learn something new about each other. So do you want an example?
So what don't we know about you, Helen? What don't we know about you?
What do we know about me? Oh, okay. Well, it's a long list. Okay. I'll put it up my LinkedIn profile.
Yes, exactly. Check out and find a new secret. She's got secrets on page 7 of her LinkedIn profile. It's all good. No, I love it. I think you rather like a speech, you don't have a long time to capture people. Why? Because they've had so many pants experience last year. So I think that's a key point, isn't it? We have got to grab them by the brain pretty quickly to get. It's a contract. We're building a contract.